Today, we're going to do a challenge. We're going to put the running backs in order based on how many snaps they're going to play, and it's going to be a challenge.
You are Locked On Aggies, your daily podcast on the Texas A&M Aggies. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome on into Locked On Aggies. I'm your host, Andrew Stefaniak. Thanks for making Locked On Aggies your first listen every single day. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code Locked On for $20 off your first purchase. We have a lot to talk about today. Really exciting weekend to be a Texas A&M fan. Of course, basketball, blowout win over Ole Miss. We'll talk about that in segment 3. The baseball team continues their winning ways, go 3-0, sweeping Rhode Island. We will talk about that here in a little bit as well. But first, I wanted to do an experiment. I want us to all try and figure something out together. And what I want to do is take these running backs, Le'Veon Moss, Amari Daniels, Rueben Ownes, and then the transfer, E.J. Smith. And I want to put these guys in order. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even have my order yet, because all of these guys, I think, heading into spring, heading into the heading into the start of the season, there's not much separation right now. All of these players are talented. All of these guys deserve to be starting in a lot of Power 5 schools in college football. That's just the reality here. That is how good Texas A&M's running back room is right now. So putting these guys in order is going to be tough. I think that I'm a little bit higher on E.J. Smith than others. I talked to our Locked On College Football host, a new show, kind of like a national show for college football. Talked with him the other day, and we were talking about kind of previewing Texas A&M, and he told me, he said, Andrew, what are your thoughts on E.J. Smith? And I said, I think he could help us. I don't know. Watching the film, I don't know what role he plays. He's an interesting running back because, is he a scat back? Is he a power back? Is he a pass catching back? What is he? I think he can wear multiple hats. And Spencer told me, he said, listen, I don't think they use E.J. Smith correctly at Stanford. He did not like the system that they used with Smith. He thinks that there was a better way to use him, and he thinks that if used correctly, E.J. Smith can be a really good football player at the Power 5 level. So, that's kind of why. That's why he says that he's high on E.J. Smith. So I think that I might be higher on E.J. Smith than some, people that cover Texas A&M. And I'm curious to hear y'all's thoughts on Smith. Once again, I think he's a good player. I think he can do it all. I'm watching the film. I rewatched the film after he told me that about, that he thinks if Stanford used a different system, he could have been used better. And I don't disagree with him. So, but the problem is this. Okay, E.J. Smith's really good. Sure, okay, great. Who's he going to take snaps from? You got the 5-star former, you got the 5-star freshman left from a year ago who's going to be a true sophomore this year, Rueben Ownes, who, I think the numbers weren't exactly what I thought they would be, but I think that we saw more from Le'Veon Moss and Amari Daniels than I anticipated. And, Rueben Ownes played a lot of snaps, but everybody ate, and I kind of predicted that. We talked about that a ton, last offseason, but I still thought that eventually Owens would kind of take over as the guy. And if you really think about it, I think Moss kind of did that when he was healthy. So the issue here, once again, and we're going to rank these guys at the end, but I wanted to lay it out because I think everybody's going to get snaps. Coach Klein, it's interesting, how he's going to run his offense. That is one thing I didn't pull up. Let's pull that up. See how what his running back carries looked like last year at Kansas State. Kansas State. Oh, if I could spell Kansas, that'd be wonderful. At Kansas State a year ago, he had. Here we go. Got it. Okay. His starting running back had 223 carries for 1,226 yards, 10 touchdowns. The backup running back had 124 carries for 643 yards. Man, you take that. You got one running back over 1,200 and another running back almost 650 yards, 15 touchdowns from the two guys. You'll take that. Then you got another running back, 13 carries for 42 yards. So basically, it was two guys. Another running back here, 3 carries, 14 yards, 4 carries for 1 yard. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running backs. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 5 running backs got carries, but only 2 of them were in a substantial amount. So, how does Coach Klein use these guys? Does this list of 4 come down to 2? Does he use all these guys in different ways? But that's the problem with all 4 of these running backs is I think their skill sets are diverse. I think all 4 of them can catch the football. All 4 of them can run the football. I think all 4 of them can run with a little bit of power. I still think Le'Veon Moss is of this group is more of the power guy. You could talk me into Rueben Ownes there too, but all 4 of these guys can do it all. And that's a good thing and a bad thing because it's not like, okay, Le'Veon Moss is your short yardage guy and Amari Daniels is your quick hitter, get it outside the tackles guy. Rueben Owens is your shifty running back, and then E.J. Smith's your pass catcher. It's not like that. It's like they're all skilled in nearly every way when it comes to being a running back. Every little detail you need to be good at. So while that's great, it's a problem because it's like how do these guys separate themselves? Now I also think we talk about depth a ton here on the show. I think depth is going to be huge in this. So once again, Le'Veon Moss was banged up at times last year. Okay, if he's banged up, he's still got 3 incredible running backs right behind him, which is awesome to see. So, if I had to rank them, I'm going to do it. All right, let me write this down. Yeah, I think this is how I would do it. Le'Veon Moss 1, Rueben Owens 2, Amari Daniels 3, E.J. Smith 4. And once again, I just got done explaining how good I think E.J. Smith can be. This is what I'm talking about. This is why you're allowed to get excited about Texas A&M's football team. Now, I do think running back is one of the deeper positions on the team. You got a lot of solid running backs. Not every position has this kind of depth. It's kind of like, I feel like running back is like your defensive line from last year. It's like, well, you got all these great players. But now it's easier to have that kind of depth because there's only one guy, out there. So, but I'm looking at this and I say to myself, all 4 of these guys, I'm happy with the football in their hands. So that's tough, ladies and gentlemen. I really want to hear y'all's thoughts. Please comment, leave in the comments. I want this to be a discussion. If you had to rank those running backs based on snaps, importance, role, assuming they're all healthy, rank them 1 through 4. That's how I did it. Moss, Owens, Daniels, Smith. I think you could go. Could you go Owens 1, Moss 2? Could you go Daniels 2 ahead of Owens? There's lots you can do here. So I really want to hear y'all's thoughts on this. But once again, I think this is going to be a talented room. I think this is one of the deeper rooms on the roster. I don't think Texas A&M is going to have any issue running the football. I think, once again, look at Coach Klein's system. He almost had, between all his running backs, almost 2,000 yards on the ground. Quarterbacks, gave you some rushing yards as well. So you'll take that. But, Coach Klein's system is going to work, and it's going to work well. And I'm really excited to see how much success that leads to for Texas A&M this year. I'd love to see the yards per carry go up. Now, that has to do with offensive line play as well. It's not just the running backs. Offensive line has to be better, and I think it's going to be better. So that's kind of my thoughts on this running back room. They're talented, but there's a ton of them. And it's like, who is going to create separation? You wonder, does that lead to somebody heading to the portal? There's, and after the spring, and it's like, maybe if they don't see themselves working their way in the lineup, there's a lot to think about here. A lot to think about, but a talented running back room, and I can't wait to see how well these four play this season. Texas A&M is 16-0 on the baseball field after a 3-0 week, including a walk-off thriller in Game 3. We'll talk about all the action coming up right here on Locked On Aggies. But first, I want to tell you about our friends over at Fire TV and their new Fire TV channels. Fire TV is your destination for sports, from live games to highlights to in-depth analysis. Fire TV offers amazing viewing experiences with smart TVs, as well as the Fire TV stick that you can plug into your existing TV that provides access to millions of movies and TV episodes, as well as free and live TV. Whether it's opening weekend for baseball or the college basketball tournament, you're going to want to have a Fire TV. Fire TV recently created Fire TV channels to deliver a constant supply of the latest videos from your favorite sports brands, all for free. That includes all of us here at Locked On and most of the big pro leagues and college conferences as well. Fire TV channels lets you dive into all of the game analysis, highlights, and more to keep up to date on all the latest in the world of sports, March Madness, NBA, MLB, and a lot more. Not to mention great news, entertainment, gaming, travel, cooking videos as well. Check out Fire TV channels on Fire TV and Alexa devices. If you haven't checked out Fire TV channels, you should. Trust me on this. Learn more about it at www.amazon.com/LockedOnFireTV. We also want to talk about our friends over at Game Time. Game Time is the best place to go get your tickets. I mean, there is no better place on earth to go get a ticket, whether it's a last-minute ticket. Game Time is in the business of saving you money. I say it all the time, and I mean it. I love that Game Time cares about saving people money. A lot of these companies, these ticketing companies, that all they want is your money. These events we go to, whether it's baseball games, football games, concerts, and once again, it's not just sports. I need to reiterate that, not just sports. We're talking comedy. We're talking concerts, whatever you want to get a ticket to, Game Time is going to have it for you. And I'm just telling you, they're in the business of saving folks money. And that's what I love. Some of these companies try to gouge you. Game Time is not like that. They want to get you to the events you want to go to for the best possible price. The app's easy to use. I also love that you can see where you're going to be sitting thanks to the Game Time app. They show you, okay, here's your seat. Here's the view of the stage, the view of the field, the view of the arena, the rink, whatever. I love that part of the Game Time app. You got to go check out Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDON for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. Baseball team is 16-0, but it's going to get more difficult. You play Sam Houston this week in the midweek, and then you got to go play those nasty, nasty Gators down in Gainesville. Jack Caglione and the crew, this is going to be a fun one. I mean, Texas A&M fan, college baseball fan, whatever you are, this is going to be fun. I am very excited for this. It's going to be tough to watch all these games. I'll have to watch a lot of highlights because I'll be in Nashville for the SEC tournament. But a lot to be excited about with this baseball team. But let's go through this weekend. The series sweep of Rhode Island. I don't know their mascot. I was getting ready to say their mascot. I don't know. But you win game 1, 11-0. Jace Lavalette gives you a homer. 1 for 2, 2 walks. You get 3 RBIs. Oh, Burton's 2 for 3, an RBI there. But the story here was Prager. And then Grahovac gives you 2 for 3, and with 3 RBIs. I've read over his name. But the story of this game was Prager. 7 innings, 13 strikeouts. Are you kidding? The whole staff, 0 free bases. I'm hoping, this is what I hope. I hope that you everydayers that hear me talk about baseball all the time, we're watching this game going, I bet Andrew is just at home watching this game crying right now because the pitching staff didn't walk anybody. And if that's what you were thinking, You'd be right. No walks from the pitching staff. When we're done talking about all the games, I have a pitching staff stat for you on the weekend that'll make a grown man cry. And we'll talk about it here in a little bit. Makes me a little emotional think about it now. But no walks, 13 Ks. That'll play. When you score 11 and the opposition doesn't score, pretty good day. So that's game one. Game two, so you get 2 for 4 from Hayden Schott, 2 RBIs, he walks. You get a quick 3-0 lead thanks to 3 runs in the first inning, couple doubles. I think it was Montgomery and Schott give you a couple doubles. Love that. I mean, you love early leads are great. And you go out to a 3-0 lead against Rhode Island in this game, thanks to, a couple first inning doubles. And then, you never look back. Pitching staff's incredible. 17 strikeouts, 2 walks from the entire staff. 17 strikeouts is incredibly impressive. I mean, what's the math on outs? 27, right? 9. Yeah, because 9 innings. So 9, double, 18. Yeah, 27 outs. And you had 17 strikeouts. That, once again, will play. That will play. I mean, another game, the pitching staff's great. And you do what you need to do at the plate to get the win. I mean, you're not always going to score 18 runs every game. You're not going to score 11 runs every game. 6 runs with this Texas A&M pitching staff will win you a lot of baseball games. And that's what happened in this game. So we'll take that. And then I also want to add one thing. And I'm going to keep harping on this. I will forever harp on this. And it's always Texas fans, okay? No offense, Texas fans, but I'm going to get on y'all about this one. People need to stop. Texas A&M comes back and beats Rhode Island in game 3. Walks it off. Comes from behind at one point. I think, what was it, 7-11, 8-11, whatever, beside the point. But people say, oh, you're going to lose to Rhode Island. First of all, it's college baseball. Okay? Is Rhode Island the best team in the world? No, not by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a Division I baseball team. You're going to lose a game. Texas A&M is 16-0. The craziest thing I have ever heard is people, before a baseball game is over, and they did this in the midweek, I think, against whoever. Now I'm forgetting who we played in the midweek, but they did this midweek. You almost, who cares? I don't think those people understand the sport of baseball at all. If you're doing stuff like that, and I'd say don't do it to Texas either. I mean, I'd say stay humble there, but I mean, if you're saying stuff like that, you don't understand baseball, because if you're really commenting on one game, yeah, I mean, if Texas A&M would have lost game 3, do y'all think I would have come here and been screaming? No, because it's baseball. You'd have been 15-1. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's insane to me. I don't think people understand that comment stuff like that. It's not like losing a basketball game to a random team or a football game to, New Mexico. Like, that's not what we're talking about here. It's baseball. There's a lot more parity across the sport. There's a lot more, evenness throughout everything. That's reality. It's baseball. I mean, the Dodgers are going to lose some days to the Pirates. That stuff's going to happen. It's baseball. So I don't think that will forever irk me. I don't know why, but it just does. But for the folks that were saying that, tough look for you, because of course Texas A&M gets the win in walk-off fashion. Took an extra frame, but Texas A&M gets the 12-11 win, and I love it. And this it's going to sound cliche. It is. I love that Texas A&M got behind in this game and had to fight for a comeback. Listen, SEC play is here. Florida's coming up this weekend, so SEC play is officially here. You're going to be behind in baseball games. You cannot, what's the word, we're down 3 runs, there's only 3 innings left, I guess we lost. No. With this lineup Texas A&M has, you are never out of a game. Never. I don't care if you're down 5 runs at the bottom of the ninth. You are never out of a baseball game with this lineup. So this team didn't want to lose this game, and they fought their behinds off and they won. That's the reality here. And that's what makes a team great. Every time I watch this team take the field, I'm more and more convinced Texas A&M can win the national championship. And I think a series win on the road against Florida this weekend really – I think you're starting to talk about is Texas A&M a potential favorite. So you go beat Florida in a series on their home diamond. We have a lot of good conversations. Once again, I cannot wait for those basketball games. I mean, for those, I've said basketball because I'm going to be in Nashville for these baseball games. I cannot wait. This is going to be a fun series of players that you are going to see in the show very, very soon. So I can't wait for this game. Y'all's favorite baseball team is 16-0. My favorite baseball team is 16-0. Go to work happy today. You know what I mean? I will. Boom. Your team's really good. Your team's winning Natty. Be stoked about it. I am. I can't wait to see what this team does. Fun baseball coming up this weekend. Basketball is the team is putting Texas A&M fans in an opportunity where we're either going to be really happy or have our hearts ripped out. We'll have that conversation, why that is, coming up right here on Locked On Aggies. But first, I'm going to tell you about our friends over at LinkedIn Jobs. When you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. LinkedIn isn't just another job board. LinkedIn has a vast network of more than a lot more substantial number professionals, which makes it the best place to hire. It gives you access to professionals you can't find anywhere else. LinkedIn does all that while making the process easy and intuitive. Hiring is easy when you have that many quality candidates. So easy, in fact, that 86% of small businesses get a verified candidate within 24 hours. LinkedIn, it's the best place, whether you're a small or large business looking for employees, or you are someone looking for a job, out of college, whatever it is, looking for a job. LinkedIn's the place to go. We talk about recruiting here on Locked On Aggies all the time, and there's no better place to recruit candidates for a job than LinkedIn Jobs. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. Post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this basketball team is really doing a number on some of us here. Where was the? I don't even want to talk about it because it's like Texas A&M might not make the NCAA tournament, but the team that we've seen play these last couple games should be in the NCAA tournament. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes it's just a little too late. And what's so frustrating, let me pull out the numbers on this. What's so frustrating about this is if you beat South Carolina in that game, right? What'd you lose that game by? Let's see. It was 2 points, I think. You lose by 2 points to South Carolina. That buzzer beater doesn't go for Vandy, right? You're in the tournament. Little things like this. The buzzer beater falling for Vandy. The 7-point home loss to Arkansas. The 2-point home loss to South Carolina. Those shots are, the shot doesn't fall for South Carolina or the shot doesn't fall for Vandy. You are in the NCAA tournament, and that's so frustrating. But you finish out the month. I mean, you start the month of March with a 14-point home win or road win, over Georgia, where you only let them score 56 points. You then hang 75 on Mississippi State, beat them by 6 at home, and then you go to Oxford and beat Ole Miss by 26 points on their floor. Are you kidding me? And why is this happening? Andrew, why are we playing so well? What's going on? Because other folks are getting involved. Obaseki, 25 points in this game. He is 9 of 14 from the field, 4 of 5 from deep. You'll take that every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Once again, I talk about it all the time. There are too many. This offense was too one-dimensional with Boots and Wade Taylor. That's what it was. It was they would dribble in circles and then jack up a three or try and take it to the rim. That's what this offense was. when you get a third person involved, Obaseki, once again, I think it's 4 straight games in double figures for him. Let's see. Yeah, I know it's four. No, I should be 4th straight game in double figures for him, but I think the last 2 he's had 15. Yeah, 25 points this game, 17 points the game before, 12 against Mississippi State, or 12 against Georgia, excuse me, and then he has 11 against South Carolina. Once again, I mean, getting double figures from somebody else is what is going to lead this team to having a good postseason, assuming they make the tournament, and that's who is going to do it for you. So I mean, Obaseki, if you can get 15 points from him, and you keep getting 20 from Boots and Wade Taylor, you're going to win a lot of basketball games, especially when Solomon Washington gives you a 10-point, 10 rebound double-double. You're going to have some games where Garcia is going to give you some points. This gives you it helps your offense when you have multiple guys scoring the basketball. It's not just 2 players. It's not, a team can't game plan and say, okay, well, don't let Radford or Taylor score. If you don't let those 2 score, then you're going to win the game. If you get other guys involved, that is how you're going to win basketball games. So you finish SEC play 9-9. You open the SEC tournament, which I don't love this, by the way. I don't know why, because it's just kind of like, but you open against Ole Miss, the team you just steamrolled on their home court. You play them on Thursday, 7 o'clock in Eastern time, 6 o'clock in Central time. So you play them. Texas A&M is the better basketball team. There's no question there for me, but it's like beating the team, and I know that they split the season series because Ole Miss came in and won in Reed Arena, right? Am I right about that? Yes, in another close game. So it was, they split the season series, but playing a team back-to-back games is a little weird. But still, I mean, the point here is you win that game, you play Kentucky. Kentucky's playing well, but you did beat them at home. They're playing good basketball. They don't play a ton of defense to where if your defense can have a good day and you get some points out of those 3 guys we just talked about, you can win that game. So, Texas A&M is right on that line of the first 4 out. And what's going to make the difference? I mean, Selection Sunday is going to be stressful. If you beat Ole Miss and beat Kentucky, do they put you in the tournament? It depends what you get from the SEC tournament. And I mean, how the committee looks at it. And I think that we've seen the committee not value it with the Aggies in recent memory, making a run in the SEC tournament. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if this team makes the tournament. But I think if you want to make the tournament, you got to beat Ole Miss and you got to at least give Kentucky a run. If you can do that, you have a shot. But there's, 6, 7, 8 teams right on that bubble of are they going to get in the tournament? And Texas A&M is one of them. It's going to make Selection Sunday extremely successful. But if Texas A&M is able to get in the NCAA tournament, they're playing good basketball right now. I could see around a 32 upset and this team make the Sweet 16 somehow. They're playing good basketball at the right time, and that's what matters. So if they get in, maybe they can get an upset win and make a small little run. So that'll be interesting. SEC tournament coming up. The Aggies play on Thursday. Going to be a fun basketball game. And if you win, you play the Kentucky Wildcats in Nashville. I'll be there for that one. I'm excited for that. I'll be there for these games. Can't wait to hear from Buzz. Can't wait to hear from the team. Going to be a fun time. Hopefully the Aggies make a run. That's going to do it for today's episode of Locked On Aggies. I hope everybody had an outstanding weekend. Basketball had a good weekend. Baseball team was great. Appreciate everybody being here. Have a great rest of your day today, and we will see you tomorrow.